Okay, you guys, let's do some more rambling tonight. Where's come on, drink tonight, by the way. Rainbow ice. Oops, sorry, rainbow ice. Sugar-free gourmet chewing gum. And let's just have fun. I was going through my little stat sheet, and I saw this one section, my top 10 videos. That's how you guys communicate with me. Lets me know what you guys like the most. It shows up on this top 10 list. I'm just now like realizing these little things that are available that I never noticed before because I'm really not into all that official stuff, really. Oh, finally. Anyways, you guys are really my typing videos are your favorite. And then I enjoy the typing ones too. But I think I like my second favorite is rambling. I think I like rambling more than typing, but that's kind of like a close second. But I kind of think I like the typing a little bit more. Let's see what else. Oh, my bubble gum and the shopping hauls. When I do a shopping haul, that seems to be like the third favorite. And then the grocery list. And you guys, at the top of the list is flipping magazines. You guys like Allure? I've got a couple more Allure magazines to do too. And National Enquirer. And a couple of the ones with U.S. currency and fun facts. But anyways, so after I just talked about that, and I realized how much you guys like rambling, I had a female viewer. I wrote a little note. I don't want to lose this little note. Suggest conspiracy theories. Oh my goodness. Right up my alley. I'm not a big conspiracy person in my heart. I do think about the Illuminati. I do think about someone at the top of the chain pulling the strings. I do think of that to some extent, but not to where, oh my goodness, like some people are really, their whole life is run by conspiracy theories. I'm not that. I'm a thinker. I like to think about the stuff. So, sometime in the past week, when she said conspiracy theory, I got so excited because, do you guys remember Art Bell? Oh my goodness, I used to listen to him forever on the radio. I really enjoyed him and his guests, Art Bell, and then George Norrie. Somebody replaced him. He's okay, but I'm not as addicted to him. I haven't listened to him in ages. I believe a guy named George Norrie replaced him. such thing as a free lunch. Free lunch. Yeah. My dad used to always say that. So many things. There's another thing I want to talk about, but no such thing as a free lunch. So here I am today as an old fart. And it's not that I have conspiracy theories. It's just that I really think backwards. I kind of like try to connect the dots and wonder about stuff. So anyway, I really, a lot of my rambling and mumbling might be conspiracy theory. I'm here's just for the sake of the discussion right now, conspiracy theories. I don't know what to think of this Donald Trump accusing President Obama of wiretapping, especially since he has no proof. I do not know if I like that. That's a little bit spooky to me to have a president saying stuff, but then on the same hand, not ashamed to reveal that there's no actual proof. So that's why? I'm thinking why? I know he can't be stupid. So I've been thinking, he's not really trying to tell us a message. Is he trying to send President Obama a message that they might be hanging some kind of blackmail thing in the air, and then he's trying to turn around with another possible blackmail thing? I don't know, but it really is bothering me that he's saying that, but also saying no actual proof. Well, excuse me, I bumped the listener. While at the same time, I know he's not stupid. So that kind of bothered me. Anyway, now, on to bigger, better things. Here's the other thing, and I go through this every day. So we could talk about that. There are so many words and so many sayings, and I wonder where they come from. And I know they're old-fashioned words that people don't even say anymore, but I do. And that's kind of fun. So you guys can chime in on that. I scribbled some on this little envelope thinking I just had a few of them. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I was really a ton of them. Now just yesterday on the morning news, there was this old rocker who's promoting a book for Procrastinator for Kids. I don't remember what his name was. But he mentioned the name of the book is Don't Dilly-Dally, Silly Sally. Yeah, and it's kind of cool. He's a rocker from the 80s. They had this band called it's either H-E-L-L or H-E-E-L. I can't remember, but he went on to say how it was a produced rock group and Gene Simmons produced them. So that was kind of interesting. I never knew about, but anyways, one of the guys from there just come out with a book called Don't Dilly-Dally, Silly Sally, and he mentioned two words that, oh my goodness, I could tell he was an older rocker, because it was kind of old words, dilly-dally. I know what it means, don't. Get on. That's another one. Get on the ball. Get on the ball. My dad used to say, get on the ball all the time. Get on the ball. Where did that come from? But this guy was talking about not to dilly-dally, and the other word, lollygagging. What an old word from my childhood. My dad, Mom both used to say, stop lollygagging and get on the ball. Or dilly-dally. They both used to say dilly-dally. So, I'm curious. I want to know, where did these words come from? And have you heard people say this? This is such an old saying. I don't hear it that much anymore. But when people would say, you have a bee in your bonnet. Or who put the bee in her bonnet? Now, where did that come from? In my mind, I have a picture of the Mennonites, or the Pilgrims, or what is that religious sect over in Pennsylvania that they're not modernized? Oh my goodness. But I think of those kind of people wearing bonnets. I think it came from them, but I have no clue. Oh, here's another funny one. I say this sometimes to be funny, bigger than beans. No. Something so obvious, and I'll say, and there it was, bigger than beans, right in front of my face. Now, where did that come from? It's kind of funny. Excuse me. I was amazed at myself once I started writing down a few things that my ear was kind of listening for stuff, and all this stuff I heard, I couldn't believe it. What about? Oh, nip it in the bud. You guys, if you guys think of a funny saying, let me know in the comments. Oh, this is hysterical. My daughters, especially one of my daughters, every time she would ask and ask and ask, because she kept calling it nip it in the butt, B-U-T-T. And I can remember so many times explaining it, that it's not butt, it's bud. I kept telling her to stop the bad behavior before it grows into a big deal. And obviously, as a kid, she didn't get it. But I should ask her now, because that's probably one of those things, as an older person, that she'll always remember her whole life. Like, oh my goodness. She never knew what that meant. That's funny. Nip it in the butt. What is this? Oh my goodness. You guys know, I love all the old TV shows. One of my favorite TV shows was The Flying Nun. Oh my goodness. I think I've mentioned this a time or two in one of my rambling videos about in the 60s when The Flying Nun was on. Even though my mom and dad kept saying it wasn't true, and they kept saying they have wires, she's flying with wires. Oh my goodness, I would try so hard every week to look at the TV screen and see if I could see that she was flying with wires, which I could never tell. But the funny part is that I have The Flying Nun now on DVD, and you can totally see the wires. first thing I remember by myself, I don't remember that my brother and sister were there. But I was so positive it was going to work. I remember having like a rope around my waist, thinking, if I do fly, someone's going to have to be holding the rope. But for some reason, I remember running and then thinking about the rope. This was in the front yard back in the day when the houses had a sidewalk. I noticed that new houses now, they don't have the traditional old-fashioned sidewalk. Or you'd have your house and your lawn, then you'd have a sidewalk, and then you'd have like I forgot what they call it, a little patch of grass, like by the curb somewhere. I forgot what they called it, but I was running down the sidewalk trying to get some wind to fly. So then, the next, I kept rethinking, and the next day, that's when I brought my brother and sister on board, because they kind of halfway believed it too. We had a little brick wall fence in our backyard, a patio, square patio right outside the back door. The fence was only like 3 feet high. It was like 3 feet high, so you could stand on it and jump. So I had them hold the rope because my fear was the wind was going to catch me just like the flying nun. And I was going to go up, up, and away. I must have jumped off that 3-foot high brick wall like 100 times. Then, this is where it really got crazy. This is really funny. I had to call my brother and sister. They remember, because I remember it so well. Then, when it wasn't working, I several times made us get in deep, deep prayer, because we grew up Catholic. This is kind of funny. I kept really pleading with God to let me fly, let me fly, let me fly. Oh my goodness. I totally remember that. So, the reason I believed it so much is we grew up Catholic. So the nuns, they had all different kind of nuns from different places. Like the sisters, there were the sisters of the Franciscan order, the sisters of the Notre Dame, sisters of something. I was really convinced that they were they called her the flying nun, so they were the nuns who could fly. So, I remember praying so hard several times and making my brother and sister pray with me. And because for some reason, I think I made us get on our knees, because that was a Catholic thing, like praying on your knees. And then right after we prayed, I would try it again. Didn't work. So, where was I going with this? Oh, I just had this written on there for some reason. So, I really, like for so many years, believed that you could really fly. So I'm wondering, this is what I'm wondering. Was I so possessed? Excuse me. Was I so possessed with the flying nun? Because of what reason? I used to have dreams. This is kind of funny. I used to have dreams where I could fly. Oh my goodness, they were the best dreams as a kid. I even had dreams of me flying from house to house to house. From the backyard on our block wall, eating back to business here. Oh, this is kind of, I don't say this, but I've heard people, I don't know where this came from, but I've heard people say frogs fat, ASS. I had like a friend of mine that said it all the time, her and her mom, so have you guys heard of that? A frog's fat, ASF. say that a lot. I can't see straight. I'm so excited I can't see straight. Oh, I'm so mad I can't see. Here's another one. It's an old-fashioned saying, but where did this one come from? Jumpin' Jehoshaphat. Is that like a famous frog that I don't know about? Jumpin' Jehoshaphat. A free lunch, no such thing as a free lunch. But where did that come from? Was there like a major event that happened? I don't know, that major event came to saying there's no such thing as a free lunch. So I'd like to know about that. And what, oh my goodness. My parents used to tell me this one all the time. Stop that, I'm going to wring your neck. Oh my goodness. I never hear that anymore. And what exactly does that mean? Wring your neck. It's like, is that a nice way of saying I'm going to kill you? Because the only thing I can think of is when you kill chicken, don't you just twist their necks off and that's how you kill them, and then you wring their necks? Is that what wringing your neck is? Kind of funny. Wring your neck. What's the other one? Oh, 3 sheets to the wind. What in the world is that one? I don't hear it that much anymore, but I know that every time I did, I wondered, what does that mean? Like if someone's been drinking or something. And there are 3 sheets to the wind. Let's see. 3 sheets to the wind. Oh. 3-eyed monster. I'm not sure about that one. It seems when I was little and I would be scared. It seems like my dad would say, what do you see, a 3-eyed monster? It seems like, I don't know if that's one or it's just one my dad made up. Stir crazy. I know there's a movie with Gene Wilder and the other guy, well, what's his name? Stir crazy. But I've heard a lot of, my grandparents a lot of the time would say that. I don't hear it anymore, but they'd say, oh, they went, so-and-so went stir crazy. Or it's not that, you can make me go stir crazy. What does that mean? Wondered about that one. Slowpoke. What in the world? I thought of that when they were talking about dilly-dally. Slowpoke. What in the world is a... How did they think of slowpoke? Slowpoke. What's the other one? Oh, hem and haw. I've said that a few times. Like, I have to start hemming and hawing. But a lot of these things I never said. I would hear, like a friend of mine, I remember her saying the frog's fat ass, and she would talk about her sisters. So I told her, and she would say something like, I told so-and-so that all she does is hem and haw, hem and haw. I said, what? She's just hemming and hawing her way through. I had a friend, somehow this one friend of mine, and we're still really good friends today. We've been friends since the 3rd grade. She had all these sayings that she would say, that, like everybody knew what they were but me. What's the other one? Oh, I just heard this on Mary Hartman the other night. I watch Mary Hartman on DVD, that show from the 70s, I love it. And Loretta, the country singer on the show, she used like that? Oh, I've heard that. Oh, darn it. I've heard that a lot, but where did that come from? In fact, I heard it a couple times on King of Queens. Doug's mother I think she said it a couple times. We'll be there with bells. Oh, she didn't. She just said we'll be there with bells on. That's kind of funny. Where did that come from? What else did she say? I wrote that down. From Mary Hartman. Oh, pleased as punch. She said, we'll be pleased as punch to help you. That's kind of cute, pleased as punch. So, I can kind of understand that because punch is a fun, happy thing. Punch, I think is fun. And then she said, oh, her husband came home and she says, Charlie, you scared the living daylights out of me. So what does that mean? So you're so scared the living daylight that you're scared to death or scared into darkness, which is another word. Darkness is another word for death. So she says, we'll be there with rings on our fingers and bells on our toes. And she said, please, this punch. And then she says, you scared the living daylights out of me, all like in one show. And this was from the mid-70s, couldn't believe it. Oh, here's another one, fit to be tied. Now, that's a crazy one. Like you're so upset that you're just fit to be tied. I want to know what does that, how did that get started? To be honest, oh, the other one I don't get. You know, Manson, he wrote that word helter-skelter all over the wall, and I think there's a Beatles song or an album called Helter-Skelter, I'm not sure, but when people use it, they say, oh yeah, he went all helter-skelter. What's the real meaning of helter-skelter? I'm wondering about that. Let's see. What's another one? Oh, this I'm not even sure if I have the right spelling on this one. Harder than a brick bed. What the heck is that? I have some relatives who would always say that. Is it a brick bat, like a B-A-T? Or is it a brick bath, B-A-T-H? Or is it a brick batch, B-A-T-C-H? I don't know exactly what the word is, and I don't know what does that mean. I guess it's something pretty hard, but I don't know. And, oh, this is an old-fashioned saying, but I don't hear anyone say this anymore. A lot of these things my grandparents used to say, catch your death of cold. That's kind of funny. Get your death of cold. Not funny, but what's another one? Scared the living daylights out of me. We did that one, please. Oh, punch. How does this one go? In like Flynn. Alright. That has always confused me. Because I don't know if that's the saying. In fact, they even talked about it on the King of Queens show. Another one with Doug. On that show, King of Queens. I couldn't believe it. They couldn't figure out. I couldn't remember if it was Carrie or Doug who was saying in like Flynn or in like Flint or however the saying goes. Because I'm the same way. What does that mean? In like Flynn, F-L-Y, Flynn? Or is the saying in like Flint? Because if it's in like Flynn, that sounds like a saying because it rhymes. But if it's in like Flint, is that what the saying is? And what does that mean? Does that mean you just made it through, like the flint from the flint dryer? You know how the flint just barely gets through. I don't know. I've wondered about that one. Now, what else? What are some of the other ones? Oh, here's another thing I heard on Mary Hartman. I don't ever remember this, but I'm going to research it and see if this is true. It has to have been true, or they wouldn't have been talking about it. Back in the 70s, before, like, Xanax and all this stuff was, like, public, like a big public deal for everybody, Mary Hartman was having, like, an anxiety attack in an episode, and she was having trouble. And the doctor was prescribing these pills, and they were called calmatives. You know, like to calm you down. She called them, she said the doctor prescribed me calmatives. Calmatives. So they call them calmatives. Now that is crazy. Never heard of that. But she said it several times on the TV show. Then the other word. Oh my goodness, my grandparents used to say this all the time. Take a tranquilizer, take a tranquilizer. And I think this was in the 70s too, or in the 60s. I remember growing up in here, my grandma and my grandpa say, I need a tranquilizer. And I remember my grandma saying, take your tranquilizer, take your tranquilizer. I don't think they say tranquilizer anymore. I think like now Valium. I guess, is that what they were talking about back in the day? Was it a prescription of Valium or something? But anyway, the Carol Burnett. I remember watching Carol Burnett one night because I always watched the reruns of the Carol Burnett show from the 70s, I think. And they were doing a little skit, excuse me, talking about a tranquilizer like it was an everyday thing. But to hear these words, I never hear anybody say, give me my tranquilizer anymore. Oh, and also on the Brady Bunch, I think I remember Carol talking to Mike Brady about a tranquilizer. I think, I'm not sure. But, crazy. Tranquilizer. Here's another one from Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman is Mercurochrome. Do you remember that little thing? Mercurochrome for when you had an open sore on your body to go get the Mercurochrome. What happened to Mercurochrome and what was it? All I remember is it brought back great memories. Mary Hartman. Someone comes in her kitchen and they have a problem and she runs to the bathroom. She says, okay, I'll get the Mercurochrome. Oh my goodness, good memories with that. I wish I had an old-fashioned Mercurochrome bottle. That'd be cool. All I remember, it was in a dark glass bottle, a dark colored glass bottle with, when you undid the cap, it had a glass like stick in it. Not a dropper, it was just a stick. And the Mercurochrome was like a reddish orange, a dark orange, kind of reddish tint. And you would dip it in there and rub the stick on your wound. Now what in the world was that? Was that just like a liquid beta-carotene solution? Because they called it Mercurochrome. Crazy. No one ever says that. Hold on just a minute. Let me get the Mercurochrome. I'll put some Mercurochrome on it. I don't even think they make Mercurochrome anymore. Crazy. Now I've told you about this one. I've told you this before. Lockjaw. Oh my goodness. My parents would say that. I don't know how many times they told me that as a kid. And my dad was super upset about kids running around barefoot. My mom didn't we would always be scared because she would explain what lockjaw is. That it would lock your jaw open. Oh my goodness. It would lock your jaw open. And we told her we didn't believe her. And the story was, and then it really got me thinking, saying, there's another aspect of my life, wondering if it's a conspiracy theory. Like, did my parents tell us stuff just to scare us? Or was it really true? That if you step on a rusted nail, the rust would get in your bloodstream and it would rust your jaw like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, and your jaw would be stuck like that, open. Oh my goodness. Okay, so anyways, not only did my mom use it, but my grandparents used it. So, trust me, lockjaw was like a real thing. That was a real disease. Okay, so then the other thing is about lockjaw. Okay, so I grew up, and then in the 70s and the 80s, and then obviously in high school, graduated, I hardly ever heard that anymore. And my parents weren't screaming at me about lockjaw, neither were my grandparents. So it was kind of like a word that it just kind of drifted away. We didn't even really have that word anymore. Till all be darned, bigger than beans. I got married, and life was fun. You know, we just moved into our new house. Just happy, typical happy newlywed. So the first weekend we're having fun, and we're gonna run the dishwasher. We're checking out the microwave and everything. So my husband asked, "Are the dishes in here clean? Did you run the dishwasher?" And I'm sitting in the next room on the couch. I remember this as if it happened yesterday, and this was back in the early 80s. But I remember it like yesterday. Sitting there, he asked me, oh yeah. And he's piddling around in the kitchen, and he gets to the dishwasher, opens it, and takes the top part out, and then starts putting them away. Then he rolls the bottom tray out, and he pitches a fit. Oh, that's another thing. Pitch. See? I'm saying stuff. Pitch a fit. Pitch a fit. That's like he gets upset, but how did we come up with pitch a fit? He pitched a fit. Obviously, I use that one still, but I don't know where it came from. He pitched a fit, and he grabs one of it was a iron skillet. I will never forget. He grabs the iron skillet, and he says these aren't clean, and he's shaking the skillet as his eyes are bugged out. Oh my goodness. He says, "I'm not eating off of this. I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna get lockjaw." And he was dead serious. I thought I was gonna die, and I screamed back at him. I said, "Lockjaw." Lockjaw. I was shocked that anybody else outside of our family even knew about lockjaw or said lockjaw. And he was so serious. He says, "People are going to die from lockjaw." And I said, "People don't die from lockjaw." See, we got into this is where the stories kind of drift apart. I was taught that you're going to get lockjaw and your jaw is going to lock. His version, truthfulness of lockjaw, was like tetanus. You get something terrible in your bloodstream, and then you die from some kind of terrible blood disease.
So he says, I'm not going to eat. So I'm going to get Lockjaw and die. I think people don't die from Lockjaw. Their jaw just gets locked open. And he looks at me like, what? That's like my first realization as a young adult. I was in my early 20s. I was like 22 when I found this out. Asking him, what? He said, I thought people... people got their jaw locked like the Tin Man. He was so disgusted. And I was so upset because he wouldn't discuss it anymore. He thought I was making fun. He was dead serious, and I can understand how he thought my explanation was very juvenile, but to me it wasn't. It was real. He would not discuss it. Look on his face. He was just shaking his head in disgust. And I said, what really upset him the most, because he's in the military, and I guess it's real, these other countries and things that happen, it really is more of like a tetanus thing. I guess. So he was serious about it. I can't believe. Can't believe you didn't know that people die from Lockjaw. And I kept saying, I can't believe that you don't know that Lockjaw means that your jaw gets locked open like the dinner from Wizard of Oz. Oh my, that would just put him over the edge. And trust me, we were not laughing. We were not laughing. And I'm hysterically laughing about it now. But anyways, Lockjaw. Okay, I think the last one. I already did the backflip side. Okay, the other one. Did your parents ever tell you this? My parents told me this all the time. And bigger than beans, if I didn't use the same tactics with my kids, I said this exact same thing. And I could hear my mother in my mind yelling at me as I was yelling at the kids. Get that look off your face. As a kid, if someone had like a sour look, or we were upset or disgusted, just sour look, both of my parents, my mom especially, but I remember both of my parents yelling, getting really upset. Get that look off your face. They'd be so mad, but they would say, get that damn look off your face. And I remember as a kid, oh my gosh, because if we didn't, we'd get in worse trouble. But I remember trying to think to myself, how am I going to make my face look so I don't get in trouble? But did your parents ever tell you that? Get that look off your face. And so then, here my kids are, and I understand it better. disgusted. And I'd be yelling the same thing at them. Excuse me. And the funny part about it is I would yell at them, get that look off their face. And I would see them try to do the same thing that I would try to do. Like, what kind of look am I going to put on my face? Well, I could tell they were trying to. They didn't want to be happy. They were upset about something, but they knew they had to get the look of upset. So it was kind of funny watching them, but I was reliving doing the same thing my mother did to me. It kind of is true. You really do grow up into your mother. Excuse me. And I will never forget. I did this one time and one time only. I was mad at my husband for something. Well, first I was mad at the kids, and I think I was mad at him because he didn't say anything, and I needed for him to back me up. This was when the kids were like really little, like 4, 5, or 6, and I told him like twice. I said, get that look off your face. And they were trying. And so I needed him to help me. So I looked over and I said, what? I said, what is wrong with everybody? Because he was upset about something too. I don't know what it is. I'll never forget. I looked at him and I said, get look off your face. And then I realized how terrible that was, because he says, are you talking to me or to the kids? And it's not funny, and I felt really bad after, because, bad enough to be yelling and screaming at your kids like that. But then to do that to an adult, and then have the adult say, are you talking to me or to the kids? That was terrible. So it was good he said that, because it really got my attention. And not to talk to your husband that way. And you really shouldn't talk to kids that way. But parenting, I've learned, is a live and learn. You live and learn. I think that's what the fun part is about grandparenting. You get a second chance. I'm not a grandparent yet, but I'm obviously an aunt, and that's kind of like a fun grandparent experience. So all the mistakes you made as a parent, you get a second chance as either an aunt or a big sister or a grandma. Oh, that's kind of fun. So let's see, where am I at here? I wonder if I could finish up this little. I get so carried away talking. I had a little laugh attack. I cannot believe it. Sometimes I get so crazy. Well, I think I'm making progress. Let's see. So, that hour kind of went by fast. So, send me a little comment. If you have a fun saying that I forgot to mention, there's a lot of them. Or a word, an old-fashioned word like lockjaw and McGarricombe. That's a real old-fashioned word, McGarricombe, lockjaw. Tranquilizer, nobody says it. See, I got laughing so hard, I got my throat all clogged up now. Okay, so what else? this was fun. So back to my little paper I found out about you guys. Is there's a page, like if you want to know stats or information from your YouTube. And I just found it. It shows, it says like the top 10 videos that I guess get the most views. Number 1 was typing, and number 2 was rambling. So I'm going to pay more attention to what you guys are watching and what you guys are liking. And I want to try, I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. That kind of my goal, my daily goal is to upload 3 videos. I would like to have a fun hour video each night so we could go to sleep. Just relax and go to sleep. Hour video at night, and in the middle of the day I want to do a 15-minute, I want to call it like a midday quickie break. Like if you're at work or just, you just need a break in the middle of your day. A 15-minute something like flipping through a magazine or reading the classified or the sheriff's spotter, just a little 15-minute quickie. And then in the morning, I don't know, just a short one, either like one of the unboxing or a beverage review or a food review or a recipe review. So that's kind of how I approach each day, what I'd like to give you guys each day on my YouTube channel. And usually when it doesn't happen, lately it's been because I've been stuck up trying to upload better quality videos. But I think I'm over it now. I think I'm going to be back on track. Look, I'm excited. I got it. Isn't that pretty? I think it is. See, I need to get a P.O. box because wouldn't this be like a fun souvenir? I could send this to somebody in a contest, maybe. That would be a fun souvenir, I think. But I need to get a P.O. box. I need to budget for more things. I might get a P.O. box. I want to get it's really all I'm thinking of right now is a P.O. box. We could have so much fun sending stuff back and forth. So, I'm so proud of myself. I finally finished it. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th. It took like 4 videos, I think, for me to finish this. At least 3. For some reason, I'm thinking 4. Good thing I had this pencil sharpener this time. Oh, I didn't even get into my poppy heel candy. Save that for next time. is really the only lotion I use. Let's see. I'm nervous of ingredients, but this has water, glycerin, even this one that's kind of